I don't have that stupid Obamacare. I'm covered by the Affordable Care Act.
The Affordable Care Act is Obamacare, genius.
I just had a patient say to me, thank God Trump was elected and we can get rid of this stupid Obamacare and go back to the ACA. Oh, I love being in my reputation era while they're in there fuck around and find out.
And do you support Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
I guess the Affordable Care Act.
And why do you prefer the Affordable Care Act over Obamacare?
I'm not really sure. My girlfriend supports Trump, so I go with whatever she says.
Which plan do you support, Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
The Affordable Care Act.
And what is it about Obamacare that you do not like?
I just think that there's a lot of holes in it and it needs to be revamped.
What do you agree with, Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
I'm more towards the Affordable Care Act.
So the Affordable Health Care Act is still a better option than Obamacare?
Yes.
So the Affordable Care Act is more affordable than Obamacare?
Just the name says it all.
Do you agree with the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare?
The affordable.
And why do you prefer the Affordable Care Act over Obamacare?
I just don't agree with the whole Obamacare policy thing that's going on. I just don't agree with it.
So you disagree with Obamacare?
Yes, I do.
Do you think insurance companies should be able to exclude people with pre-existing conditions?
No.
Do you agree that young people should be able to stay on their parents' plans until they are 26?
They should be able to, yes.
Do you agree that companies with 50 or more employees should provide health care?
I do.
And so by that logic, you would be for the Affordable Care Act?
Yes.
What plan do you support, Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
The Affordable Care Act.
And why do you support that over Obamacare?
Do not like Obamacare. I don't like anything that has to be forced for everybody to buy. It's just not good.
Do you think Obamacare is socialist?
Yes, I do.
Do you think the Affordable Care Act is socialist?
No.
Hello and what's up, good people? What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing great from wherever you're watching this video from today, and welcome back for another video. Now, interesting video. Ever seen someone hate something so much that they don't even realize it's helping them? Well, that's exactly what is happening right now with some Republicans and some MAGA supporters. And honestly, it's embarrassing. So recently, Americans were asked to choose between Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. And the same people who like spend years, yelling down with Obamacare, chose the Affordable Care Act instead. That's why I'm saying it is embarrassing. Because what is the problem here? It is the same thing. And one American really said, and I think this might sound hilarious, but it's deeply very true, that Donald Trump is a living proof that to be a con man, you don't really need to be very smart. You just need to make sure that your target victims are way dumb than you and your tactics. And that's what we are just seeing. So before we go deep into this video in my own analysis, I want to share some of more videos of Americans reacting to this kind of embarrassing ignorance, and I'll be back. So see you on the other side.
I cannot believe in the year of our Lord 2025 in the United States of America, there are people who live in this country who do not know that Obamacare was a slur by the Republicans for the ACA. I can't believe it. You know, the world used to think that Americans were intelligent and smart. But because of this TikTok, the world now realizes that Americans are easily manipulated, lied to, and they just absorb it into their brain.
There's an unemployed Trump voter who said they voted for Trump because he promised to kill Obamacare, but says he hopes Trump keeps his hands off the Affordable Care Act, which he relies upon. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. Here's what this guy wrote online. He wrote the following, quote, I just voted for him because he's going to kill Obamacare. I am unemployed and Obamacare effing sucks. I'd rather just have the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, by itself instead of this communism shit. And then someone responded to him by saying, Obamacare is the ACA. It is literally keeping you alive. You voted to take away your health care. And then the original poster wrote back, quote, why the F do people have two different names for it? Obama equals bad and affordable equals good. I effing hate Democrats. Well, if you remember, it was the Republicans who branded it as Obamacare originally to try to scare people like you. Yeah, maybe your hate should be directed at those trying to take away your health care and not the people who are trying to actually save your life. How about that?
A poll that was taken by NBC News shows a clear message: a majority of Trump supporters back extending Obamacare subsidies. Most of President Donald Trump supporters back keeping enhanced subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare. The central obstacle in the ending government shutdown, according to the new poll from the Nonpartisan Health Policy Research Group. It was conducted on September 23rd through the September 29th, just days before Congress failed to pass a funding measure to keep the government open. More than 22 million people receive subsidies, which are set to expire at the end of the year unless Congress extends them. Losing the subsidies could mean the average out-of-pocket premium payment could double in 2026 from $888 a year to $1,904. You fucks make my buttocks itch so bad.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says Democrats are right about demanding subsidies for the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare be extended. Let me show you her clip.
And to allow Democrats to have some sort of moral high ground on this issue because they're the only ones talking about it, I think is a major failure from the Republican Party. And I'm not going to stand there and just keep talking the talking points when my own adult children can hardly afford health insurance premiums, when everyone in my district, it's the number one issue that I hear about day in and day out, not just people on the ACA, but people that have private insurance as well. And I think it's something that we have to talk about.
Undocumented immigrants in the United States cannot receive health insurance from Obamacare, from Medicaid, from Medicare. They are barred from doing so, okay? And the Republicans, all of the maggots, are saying that Democrats didn't want to vote on the spending bill that would have kept the government open because they're dying on the hill of giving health care to illegals. No, the reason the government is shutting down is because the Democrats refused to join a vote on the spending bill that would keep the government open, or would reopen it at this point. Why? Because MAGA wants to gut healthcare in this country for millions of people, even more than they already have.
Hold up. Y'all actually didn't know Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are one and the same? Y'all made up the name. Y'all made it up. Y'all started calling it Obamacare. But it had a name first. The name has always been the Affordable Care Act. Then y'all named it Obamacare. Did you forget? See, this is how I know y'all just hating indiscriminately. Y'all don't even know what y'all be hating. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he was black. That's what y'all do like. Why y'all ain't just look it up? Why you ain't just look it up? I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got to take it easy on MAGA. I mean, yes, sure, they falsely believe that Democrats want to give health benefits to the undocumented migrants, even though it has always been a federal law that states that undocumented migrants do not get access to the ACA. But speaking of the ACA, guys, you got to remember who we're talking to. We're talking to people who have willful ignorance. They won't research anything. I mean, don't forget, these are literally the same group of people who thought that Obamacare and the ACA were two completely different programs. Okay, so you got to understand the intelligence level that they have and what you're trying to compete with. I mean, nobody can stoop down to a level that damn low when you just it's comical at times, but also sad at times, because like they truly do not know how to think for themselves. I mean, whatever Mike Johnson says, because they're just not intelligent. I mean, that is the reason why Trump loves them so much and Trump hates us. Remember what he said, smart people don't like me. And notice how all the people that like Trump are not the smart ones?
So the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, is actually most important to the people that are living in red states. Florida, Texas, Georgia lead the nation in enrollment. Together, these three states alone account for almost 10 million people relying on ACA subsidies in order to be able to afford their health insurance. In Florida, 1 in 5 residents depend on the ACA. In Texas and Georgia, it's closer to 1 in 8. So when Republican lawmakers in Congress say that they're fine letting the subsidies expire at the end of 2025, they're directly hurting their own voters, their constituents.
Found out that the reason that some of the poor MAGA don't believe that anything's going to happen to their health care is because they don't realize they're on Medicaid because their state calls it something else.
All of these Trump voters admitting that they didn't realize that Obamacare was the Affordable Care Act when they vehemently hated Obamacare is one of the most openly racist things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't understand how they don't have the critical thinking and the thought process to just know not to say that out loud because of just how simply racist it is that they were so against Obamacare just because they associated it with Obama, which was the point. That's why Republicans coined Obamacare so that racist people would hate it without understanding what it was. And that's exactly what they're admitting happened by saying they hated Obamacare and they thought Trump was going to get rid of Obamacare, but they have the Affordable Care Act and they didn't realize they were the same thing. I don't wish that they would keep it in, but it's insane to me that they don't have like the maybe 2 or 3 step thought process that tells them don't share that out loud because you are self-exposing that you are super racist.
Okay, so yes, Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. Yes, it's one and the same thing. The only reason it's actually called the Obamacare is because the Republicans in the first place coined the term as an insult. Actually, it was a political slur to try and attack President Obama back then and turn people against him and, against that policy. But here is the irony. A lot of these same people who have been, who are now talking, were talking against Obamacare have been benefiting from Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act, for years. And that right there really tells you something deep, or how deep the ignorance of these people and blind hate can go as far as hurting themselves. And they've been trained to hate everything associated with Black people, with Obama, not because they understand it, not really. It's because they are politicians that they don't question, really tell them to do so. Yeah. Now that's why this embarrassment is here. And that's the real danger of I say this, the real danger of political manipulation. These people are not fighting policies. They are fighting symbols. And these symbols have been weaponized by politicians who actually know exactly what they're doing. Don't think politicians don't know that they're manipulating you. Like someone really, or it's commonly said, it's easier to fool a man than to convince that man that they are being fooled. Yeah. And that's exactly what's happening here. Americans being fooled into hating something that's literally helping them, And once again, Donald Trump has really proven one thing. To manipulate a crowd, you don't need to be the smartest person amongst them. You just need to make sure the audience, is dumb enough not to question you, not to question your policies, not to question what you try to sell to them. And MAGA supporters, sadly, has become the perfect example of that. People that just follow, they don't question, they don't understand the implications, the depth of what politicians try to tell them. Now they're losing their benefits, but at the same time, it's ironical finding them crying in these spaces because they are actually the people who said that they wanted those policies that have now rendered them jobless, that have now ended their markets of their produce in China. They are the same people who say they support the tariffs because Donald Trump said that China will foot the bill for the tariffs. China will pay heavily for the tariffs. But the truth is the consumer always pays the tariffs. If you place tariffs on a commodity that Americans need, they must buy, then what the producer will do is just to heighten the price. And if Americans must then use that product, then they have to pay more. So at the end of the day, you realize that the one that's footing the bill, the one that's paying the prices, the one that is paying for the tariffs is not China. It's not any other country. It's not Mexico, and it's not Canada. It is the American himself or herself. So Black and Democratic voices have been clapping, hard, clapping back hard, pointing out that this kind of ignorance is what really keeps America divided. And this time has really exposed the deep ignorance in America, a country that everybody really believes in and has always seen as a very woke, people that, most of the world didn't always think of America like this. They can be this ignorant because at the end of the day, this isn't about Obamacare. It's about how blind hate can make people vote, act, and fight against their own interest, basically, So the next time someone probably around you yells something to do with Obama and Obamacare, maybe ask them first if they do support the Affordable Care Act, because chances are they do. They just don't know it yet. So ignorance isn't just really dangerous. It's expensive, pretty expensive. And in America right now, it's really costing people their health and their dignity, sadly. Yeah, you have seen that. And that could look like it's hilarious, but it's basically sad and very embarrassing, Yeah, so that is that for this video. I don't know what you think about it. Do share with me your thoughts and your comments about this in the comment section below. If you liked what we do or what this video, then give it a thumbs up. And if it is your first time, you're new to this channel, then please subscribe to the channel to become part of us. So we've come to the end of this video, and thank you very much for your time. I'll see you in the next.